everybody. Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge. And with me, as always, is my beloved, dear friend.
Thank you so much.
And producer, Fitz.
I like beloved better than trusty. Because it makes me feel less like a lawn equipment or a yard tool of some kind.
Yeah, I got kind of sick of that one, so I looked up a new adjective.
I like adjectives. Really do them. Nice.
This is Fitz with Rockfox Studios, the purveyor of this fine establishment.
Rockfox.com. Let me do your podcast. Let me record your audio book and whatnot and so forth.
Let him do you. I mean, all the things.
I mean, you know, we'll have to have an interview first, but... got
who needs the formalities?
Yeah, what the hell.
Anyway, let's get right to our guest
Let's
today. Because she is awesome. Hey, Fitz, I know you and I are very similar on some things.
Yes.
We like to help people. We want to help everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's that Catholic guilt. I don't know. But sometimes we forget that the people that we should be helping the most are ourselves.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So that's what our guest is going to help us with today. She's going to help us learn to say no. We have the fabulous, internationally known, I don't know, I just threw that. World famous communications coach, Andrea Holland.
They know me in Canada. Thank you. That is international.
If it goes over the border, it's international.
Legit, yes.
We got Andrea.
Yay.
Yay. We love Andrea.
Hi, friends.
Hi. I'm always been sure, I can help you with that. Before I even think about it. And I think sometimes it's because I feel like so many people have helped me, which they have, and I'm very grateful.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but we're going to learn to unapologetically say no.
Amen, girl. Oh, my God. I think everybody does that, though. I
have a big problem with saying no.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
so, okay.
We've talked about it. That's all. That's why.
Let us all unpack this ish.
Fitz, you let me walk all over you. Just say no.
But my back hurt, and you have very strong feet.
Well, it's mutually beneficial. You got your back. Got a little chiropractic.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard. I think a lot of times our reasons for saying no vary across the board. But oftentimes I hear from people that I work with, clients and whatnot, and just friends and people that we want to be helpful, right? And to your point, it's like, I've been very fortunate to have people help me, so I want to say yes. But then one time I heard this, it might have been a podcast, I'm not sure where I heard it, but somebody said, if you would not clear your schedule completely within the next 48 hours to accommodate an invitation, a request, whatever, request for help from someone, if you wouldn't clear the deck in the next 48 hours, then the answer is simply no. Because so often...
Oh, my God, that was my podcast. No, I'm kidding. So,
oh, you heard it here.
Yeah.
Someone said that, and I was like, oh, because do you guys do this too, where you say, yeah, call me in a month. Things will be a lot lighter then.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then a month comes, and what happens?
Oh, no, wait. I don't do that. I'm okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll drop everything for you.
Or that.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow comes.
The other people are always oh, yeah, call me. And then they don't answer.
And then, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But yeah, it's the problem. We always say, I got more time. I'll have more time later. It'll be fine. I would love to help you. And the intention is there, but the time just ain't. So then we get stuck, right? And then it's, I always say that I'm flattered to be invited to do things, but am I interested and available? That's a different story.
So many boxes to tick there. I just don't know what to do.
Exactly. Wait, so can we go back to the clear your 48 hours thing? What does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't quite...
So oftentimes people will say like, hey, do you want to go to this event with me? Or, hey, I'd love for you to partner up with me on something. Or, hey, we're going to go to an event coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And you say, yeah, sure, I'd love to do that. Call me, let's set it up. Let's set it up. We always do that, right? And then you set it up, and then a month comes, and you're sitting there, and you're staring at your calendar,
And you're like, how can I get out of this?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, my spleen.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Literally.
I gotta do that. I said yes.
Oh, yeah.
Why did I say yes?
Yes.
It happens all the time. And then you're like literally trying to find reasons to get out of doing stuff. So this person that I heard this from said, if you wouldn't with joy clear the deck in the next 48 hours to accommodate that request, then just say no. Instead of saying, let me look at my calendar and I'll get back to you. Or, yeah, sure, we'll schedule it for a month out, and then a month comes and you're, trying to disappear.
What does this signify? Like, what? Where's the cutoff? I guess I want to say,
Yeah,
because there's plenty of things where I really don't want to do it, but it is in my best interest to do it, so I should probably do it. Is that like just more of a shut up, you're lazy, Fitz?
Did you hear all the butts in there?
But.
That's a really big butt, Fitz.
Thank you.
Fitz has got a really
It was
big
bigger.
like
I
round
lost
and big.
20 pounds so far.
and a pull-up to get with him.
That's right. No, I mean, it depends on is it a request that someone is asking you to join to go to an event or do something social, and you just
Okay, so a request.
that.
Okay, so the request part I think is the key.
There
is
you
the
go.
key word.
Yes.
That I'm
so
missing.
there's that.
Okay.
And I run into this trap all the time where people say, I'd love to have you come to this. I'd love to have you MC this. I'd love to have you, join us for whatever charitable function. And it's a lovely idea. And I would love to go. I also don't want to put pants on and leave my house. And that's pre-pandemic. So, it's like, oh, why did I agree to do this? Or even help. You say, well, I always want to help. Someone says I'm struggling with something and I'm like, oh, I have such a good idea and I would really love to help you. But the reality is there's just not that much time for me to do it. So you have to rein it back in and set a boundary. But saying no, just straight out no, the word no, we have a hard time with because we feel like we're not being helpful. We are afraid that it could ruin a relationship, or we fear that what if the tables turn and I need that person down the road. But
right.
It's all about relationships. You got to decide what's important to you.
Yeah.
When was the last time you said no to something? She's on the struggle bus. Whee! Hear the wheels turning.
No. It's not appropriate.
Oh. With that, I'm going to blush.
I don't do that.
I don't.
Sorry. It's where I draw the line.
Some things shouldn't be spoken of. Okay.
Well, you asked.
Duly noted.
No. Sorry, I'm adjusting.
Or when do you have trouble saying no? Tell me that. Where do we struggle with just saying no to things?
When it's someone that's been there for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So
when I feel responsible, like, to, a close friend or whatever, I'm just like.
So could we just say, I really adore you and I want to help you and I'm totally strapped on time. And here's the thing, if we tell the other person what will happen if we say yes, but we can't commit to it and paint that picture, then they will appreciate us for saying no. So, for example, I really want to help you. I would love to help you move furniture or help you do whatever.
Plan your wedding.
Plan your wedding. And I know that I'm so busy that if I sign on to do this, I'm going to disappoint you. And you're going to get let down and you're not going to get the best possible help you can get.
That's a good.
Yeah, I mean, being that honest, I think is very good. But how many people are? I mean, that takes some cajoles to.
Cajoles.
You know what I mean?
Cannolis?
Takes some good cannolis.
Really, just to be honest with somebody and tell them like, "Yo, if I do this, you're going to fail."
Well, I mean,
yeah, yes, it is.
There's a lot of.
We're being honest.
There's a lot of self chutzpah you have to have, or self confidence, and I think that's one of the things that Madge and I both lack in a lot of ways, which makes it hard for us to say no because we feel like that self-confidence, saying yes to someone is in some way building our self-confidence because that person's going to feel better about us. And so therefore we're feeling better about ourselves,
Okay.
But if you say no,
we're people pleasers.
we are to our detriment. To our detriment sometimes.
That's the problem. So then the question I always ask myself is, how will I feel when? So let's say you commit to it, planning the friend's wedding, right? Mm-hmm. And then you think to yourself, how will I feel when the day comes that they ask me to be up at 6 a.m. to go gathering wildflowers in a stream down, in a van down by the river, so they can fulfill their vision.
I will help you as long as it doesn't involve gathering wildflowers down by the stream.
Exactly.
I've got boundaries.
There you go. So then it's like, well, I'm not going to feel too hot when that day rolls around. So here's what I can offer you.
Oh, we can bargain?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? People are always asking for our time, for our, our talent or whatever. And so I just tell people, like, here's what I can do for you. And that's it.
Okay. How does that play out with like a partner or a child?
Well, no, let me just be clear. I have a 2-year-old.
Oh, then you don't.
I'm in a constant negotiation hostage situation. But you know what? It's interesting you say that because I was reading it. So my 2-year-old is going on like, just a bender with the attitude, and I can't blame her because homegirl came from me. But
apple tree,
right? Exactly. And I was reading an article on it because I was like, there's got to be some guidance out there from somebody who done been there before me. And one of the things I realized is right. Hello. Oh my God.
I have.
Yeah. Well, one of the things they say, and I think this is true for adults too, is with a 2-year-old who is, I like to call her Shawshank because she can work her way out of anything. Shawshank and I swear to God. So I'm looking at, and I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm distracted. So when she's doing something, this is me. I'm like, don't stop, wait, don't, no, and I'm like on TikTok, busy living my best life. And so,
how do I feel better about my parenting?
No, let's be honest.
I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. The doctor asked me, she goes, does your 2-year-old have a media plan? I said, a what? She said, a plan for how much television and media they and I looked at her.
Yes, I plan on giving her my phone at every possible moment that I can.
Right. I looked at her, I said, lady, this child thinks that Big Bird is her daddy, okay? That's who's parenting my child right now is Big Bird.
Oh my God.
I can't.
There's a pecker joke in there somewhere, but we'll go back.
Low-hanging fruit,
So
I eat everything.
Wait, real quick, that's funny that you brought that up because it's, and this kind of goes into the saying no, you got to pick your battles.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
With children. Pick your battles. Because I've had women that were like, my son, he's 15 and he won't get off the, they
toilet?
wanted them to have, no, they want them to have like very strict chores, take out whatever. I'm like, but he's on the, the video games all day. And I'm like, does he get up and go to school? Yes. Does he
there you go
do well in school? Yes. Whatever. And that's how I was. I was a single parent with 3 kids. That was like
pick your battles.
Yeah, picking your battles. Totally.
Oh, but also how they are, especially at 2, is not going to define them the rest of
Thank
their
Jesus.
life.
Right.
Yes.
Terrible 2s.
Just because your 15-year-old is a 16, whatever, is just playing video games doesn't necessarily mean they're going to live in your basement playing video games
for the rest of right.
I mean,
could be.
Gotta watch that one.
No, but you're absolutely right about picking battles,
right.
and that's true. I there's moments where I literally, my daughter is fighting for something, and I'm like, really, I'm standing on principle here. I need to just accept that she wants it. It's not going to hurt her. She's safe. It's fine.
Right.
Go for it.
Just that you said that right now, because earlier I found a picture of my son, my oldest, and I was going to post it and say, your kid, what they are at 2 isn't going to define them. And it was a picture of him at 2 with like a sand pail on his head. And the kid graduated from NYU a few years ago. So,
Yes. No, it's true. I think that's a really powerful point when it comes to setting boundaries and saying no, is picking your battles and recognizing what's really important to you and just what you're willing to let go of. There's some things that, like, for example, we'll go back to the planning a wedding example. You really value your relationship. It's a big one. Or someone's got a Pinterest vision for their wedding, and
Oh,
it's like,
good
oh
Lord.
Lord, right?
Put down the vision board.
The vision board. And
Kimberly.
it's like, and that's no specificity.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to help that person be successful. Tell them that, like same thing you would say to a kid, like, I want you to be happy. I don't want you sitting here throwing yourself on the ground, having a total conniption fit.
Because that's mommy's job.
Because that's mom, right? So just, I want you to be happy. I want you to have some part of what you're looking for. And I want to help you with that. And here's what I can offer. And that's it, right?
And does this have to be in triplicate when we do this?
I know, right?
Hand signed copies to everybody.
Well, and that, it's funny too. So back to the blog or whatever I was reading about the kid, they were saying, don't just say no, give them an option, give them something else. So I'm like, all right, let me get up off TikTok and let me walk over here and say, all right, you're jonesing for some kind of fun here. So we could either color, or we can play cards, or we can read this book. Which would you like? And in her little 2-year-old way, she'll tell me, and we're fine.
See, it's funny you said that, because I was, Andrea has a program called The Mouthy Broad.
Ta-da!
Ding! And we are a community. I am involved in it.
Yes.
And there's a lot involved, but it's women, and we're mouthy, and Andrea gives us all sorts of wonderful materials for
making your voice heard, being unapologetic, and building your confidence. Yeah,
right. So being a mouthy broad. So I was going over the one chapter segment, whatever you want to call it, that you did on just say no.
Yep.
And the one thing you said in there was, don't offer justifications.
Oh gosh.
However, something you just said has always been my MO, I learned early on with kids, is yes, giving a choice, but also sometimes when you're saying no, to give the explanation of why.
Yes.
Then their little wheels
start.
Like it's about, we're about to have dinner. Mom, can we finger paint? And just not, and yell, no, because I said so.
Yeah, right.
Well, kids then don't know how to make a decision for themselves. They just know what, Mom, they told me no.
Yes.
And I say, you know what? No, we can't, because we're about to have dinner and I got to have the table cleared off, and because we're going to do that. Then they get it.
That's fair. And it's funny. So I will offer.
You might need to do that too,
I offer reasoning.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Gary's the fake name that I use for every person who I feel is overstepping their boundaries.
I use Declan. I think
Declan?
No,
that's too.
I was like, that's quite a lovely
cool
name.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Declan is a beautiful name. I'm like, listen, Gary.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I think it's true. Like, I'm willing to make certain concessions when someone says, because there's always that person when you say no, they're gonna push, right? You're like, I can't do it, and they're like, oh, but why? I understand that you're upset, and know that my decision has nothing to do with you. It's all about me. So just trust that I'm saying no, and it's to your best interest.
That was one of my questions today, about what if the person doesn't accept no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love those
there.
people. I love a challenge. It's like it's. I love when people.
I cave.
Yeah. Well, and this is from learned experience. So I used to be the person who would come up with a little white lie and say like, I can't go. My mother doesn't want me to come hang out with you. That excuse line ended after 20. So, I couldn't use that anymore. And then I would say things like, oh, I would, but I've got, somewhere to be. And then, of course, they would catch me not at that place later.
I'm on Facebook drinking.
Right. And I say no to things because I don't want anyone to have more power over my time and my talent than me.
There you go. That's the key right there.
That's
for
it.
Someone not having the power over your time.
Yeah.
I apparently have to work on this, because right when you said that, I went,
yeah. And here's the thing. I always tell people, we're not always number one in our
I
lives.
puckered.
Well,
Sorry.
it's
Exactly. You just pull that out.
You clenching tight over there?
Oh, boy.
Got
Pickup
in
sticks.
there. Sorry. Ew.
No.
That's a reference to a line from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, that was
We got a
never
better chance of
movie I
playing
was-
pickup sticks with our butt cheeks. Thank you, John Candy. Rest in peace.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Anyway,
No, I've always been the person who could come up with, the little white lie or the the little thing. And really at the end of the day, no one should have more control over how you spend your time or what's important to you. And that's the thing. When we give excuses, we're giving people a reason to judge us for what we find important. And that's unfair.
that
Yeah.
just made me feel
Yeah.
worse.
Well, it's but people do that. If you were to say,
No, yeah.
can you come to my party on Friday night? No, I can't. I gotta stay home with my kids. I'll give you a great example. I was hired for a job. Well, I was a final candidate for a position with a company that I was eventually hired for, and the senior vice president of the department I would be working with and for. Invited me to her home for a very special dinner with some friends. And I was like, oh, wow, I get to go
sorry.
to the big boss's house. What?
I used very special. All I could think of was very special episode.
Oh.
On 8 is enough. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So I was like, oh my God, I get to go to fancy dinner with the senior VP and blah, blah, blah. And I had recently formed a new friendship with a gentleman who was in the performing arts. And he had a play.
Just check.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
no,
right.
different.
Yeah, he sort of. He had a play that night and that same evening, and he's like, "Well, aren't you going to come to my show?" And I said, "Well, this is a job that I really want."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, but this is my performance."
Yeah.
And here we have, a battle of what's more important, what I
Right.
want or what you want.
Right.
And I thought about it, and I said, well, I this is really important to me, and I just can't. And he said, and then he kept pushing. He said, how about this? How about you call this woman up and say, I have a really great idea. Why don't you join me at my friend's performance and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, what kind of crazy is you sipping on, bro? We ain't playing this game. Mama needs a job. I'm not doing
Yeah.
this. And so I had to simply say, that is not in my best interest, and I need to go. He didn't speak to me for like 2 years. He was all upset about it. And
Goodness.
I didn't. Oh yeah, he really was butthurt about it, and I did not care. But at the end of the day, I was like, I'm not going to give an excuse. I'm not going to tell you, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not very sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not very sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry.
Yeah, this is more important to me, and that's it.
I'm upset that he would even put you in that position.
Yeah.
I would never
think
do that
about
to
it,
somebody.
What a
Fitz.
douche.
How
Sorry, guy,
often-
if you're out there.
How often do people put us in that position, though?
Yeah.
Where they will say, you take it to something not as extreme. You say, I can't go to your party because I got to take my kid to a soccer game the next morning and we got to be up early. Oh, but we won't be late. Come on. You just bring
Yeah.
their,
Right.
can't their neighbor can't they drive themselves? Dude, get out of my life. How about that? How about you let
Yeah.
me run my show and you run yours?
See,
I'll see you when I see you.
my problem is solved. I just don't have any friends.
Problem solved. Problem solved. But then it becomes the neighbor or it becomes somebody else.
No, I don't have any neighbors.
No neighbors. You live in a van down by the river?
I do.
Ooh.
And I hope you get on the right track.
It's a really nice van.
It's a nice
The
van.
river, not so much, but
That's
the
a
van
new
is
trend
really
now.
nice.
Do you know that? I know this because I'm on
Yeah,
TikTok.
I've seen. Yeah,
The van life.
Yeah.
And the schoolies, the school buses that have been recommissioned to
Yeah.
now travel the world.
I know. Totally
Good luck
tangent.
getting over the
but
Atlantic in
Do you
that.
watch the guy that lives in a van and he goes around and give it? Man down.
Sorry.
He
does what?
He lives in a van that actually he got so popular a company like
Sponsored him?
sponsored him, yeah, and like
Oh.
did the and
Let me guess. They gave him enough money he could actually buy a house now. That's the whole
no, the
point.
guy goes around. It's this gorgeous Mercedes van. You know those.
Oh.
Yeah, and then shrink wrapped with whatever they are, and he goes around and he's like, you think he's like Cheech and Chong. You know, he's and
hey man.
yeah, that's literally how he
How
talks. But
about
he
some
goes
Maui
around and
Wowie?
he gives things to like homeless people or people in need. So yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me he had his own like van decorator show or something.
It's probably next.
Because I was going to say, that's not really like van life if you're in a Mercedes van. I'm talking like an Econo line circa 1984.
Oh, yeah. I've lived
Nothing
in the back of a
AM
1975
radio.
Chevy Impala.
That's a big car though, a Chevy.
It is.
I learned
75.
how to drive
Wow.
on an 84 Caprice. That thing was a beast.
I learned to drive on that 75 Chevy Impala. Chevy Impala. It just made
the
up a
Impala's
new
cousin car from Mexico. The
It
Impala.
was an Impala. I tried to make it look like a bitchin' Camaro. And here's me. I'm like
Right,
look
the
like
wheel.
the lady in the Where's the Beef commercial. I had to sit on phone books. And it had the bench seats where like you have to go underneath and pull both things and the whole seat moves up. So you have your friends and they're like.
And then now kids are like,
Anyway.
I want my new first car. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, my son got his first car. It's the same car I have, a Ford Fusion, but it's 2 years younger than mine. So I was kind of
nice-
I was like, here, why don't you drive mine and I'll drive the new one.
Yeah, right.
But then,
Didn't work.
yeah, that's where Andrea would come in handy.
There you go. Negotiating. That's the thing. Saying no is really about, and I try to reframe it, it's about saying yes to yourself first. And we're not always going to be number one in our lives. Ask anyone with kids, ask anyone, with a significant other or even a mortgage.
Yeah.
You're not always going to be number one.
Right.
But don't always put yourself last just because you want to make everyone else happy. That's,
Yeah.
Boom.
And there are people who really genuinely, I don't know, need very little watering and feeding and get their joys out of just being around other people and constantly contributing. But there comes a point where at the end of the day, you're sitting there looking at all the things you've wanted to do and maybe you haven't done them. And the other part of saying no, I think that's really important that people don't have is we need to have some kind of goal or vision for ourselves for what we're hoping to accomplish or what we're trying to do. Because in the land of having no vision or goal set for yourself for whatever, your life is all about, you're never striving for anything. And so any little distraction that comes along, it's like, well, I'll go fix that instead.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with my own ish.
Yeah.
And that's usually what happens.
And yeah, not to make it about me, but it is my
It is
show.
your show.
No, that's the part I'm at in my life right now, whereas, my youngest just graduated from college and in May. And I, even after she went to college, I've kind of started to do that. Okay, now what do I do?
Right.
And now it's like, okay, now I can really do what I want to do. And, that's hence starting this podcast. And now I'm a millionaire.
Here's a question for you, though. After not using that muscle of wanting what you want and pursuing with gusto and, fearless joy for some time because you've been parenting.
By myself. I
Right.
might add, yeah.
Is it, do you need to sort of build that muscle up of knowing how to do it again?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That took a while. And I'm still kind of doing that. I still... There's, things in my life that I'm like, even this is silly, but my kids will call me. I love them. They'll call me. And I have a friend that calls me. And some of them like to call me 2, 3, 5 times a day.
You're like, can I please eat my lunch in peace?
Yeah. And right now I'm feeling it like, I love you. I want to be there for you, but I can't. You don't understand that, like, this is a job and
So
I
make
have
it
some
an
other
and.
jobs. And I say, I can't keep answering the phone all day.
Yeah, I love you. And so but is a useless word. We do it all the time.
That's a good point.
So it's like, I love you and I want to be there for you and I will be tonight. Boundary.
That's great.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand that. And let's bookmark it for later. Let's table it for later. we can't always say yes.
Yeah.
Because then what happens is it's you're getting in your Mexican car that we just talked about. I forget the name of it.
The Compala.
And you're never going anywhere. You're just sitting there, waiting for somebody else to come along and drive it for you. And it's like, ugh, I just need some space. I need some time. And trust me, I'm a guilty single mom of a 2-year-old. I get very little time to myself. But it's interesting. When we were little, our mother, Lucy Holland, staunch Puerto Rican lady, she had a rule. And my mother is the most patient
Did she throw flip-flops
woman.
at you?
Oh, chancletas? Yeah. Ask any Puerto Rican. They'll tell you about the curse of the chancleta.
I have heard that.
That's right. Our mother is the most patient woman. I swear to you. I don't know where this patience comes from. She would cook dinner. She would do the whole 9 yards and get us all set up, cut the little, make the little mashed potato, mountain with the little,
volcano.
all of it. She did all of it. She had
want
a rule.
her.
I know. I'm like, you're not going to make me pancakes, Mom. She's like, make them your damn self. And I'm like, I'm hungry. She would do all these things for us. And then this was her rule. Once I sit down to eat my dinner, all requests are gone.
Love it.
We're not doing that. So I'm not getting up to get you juice. I'm not going to come over and cut you dinner. Figure it out. And I always, we just accepted it, and that's what it was. And then I see moms, or people running around like ragged, trying to accommodate. And I'm like, see, Lucy Holland didn't go for that, Jazz. You
That's
got one
brilliant.
shot.
It's such
really
an
was.
easy thing, but it's just brilliant. And it's boundary number one.
I have actually tried to do that because, I never cooked. I hate to cook. Because, that cook is a relative word, I guess.
Assemble food.
Yes,
warm up.
Yes, I was a food assembler, and my kids, all of them played, 3 sports and instruments and scouts and everything. So it was like
it's hard.
It was the old Madge country buffet at the house, There's
Got chicken fingers and warmer number 1. You can get your mozzarella sticks over here.
Absolutely. You absolutely took that's exactly what I was going to say. And it's true. And, just for good measure, there's some canned corn in that other pot.
There you go.
So I can say I gave you a vegetable.
There you go.
So
it does qualify.
It was all that. But as I've gotten older and, for Thanksgiving, Christmas, that's pretty much it. And I say, all right, when I sit down,
that's it.
But then I still. But it's mostly for something for myself.
That's different.
Because I like warm rolls, so I'll get up and I'll put it back in the microwave for myself.
But again, that's for you.
Right.
That's putting yourself first and enjoying what you want to enjoy.
However, though, while I'm in there, I'm like, does anybody need anything? Is that bad?
No, we can help when we want. It's just when people are making demands of our time all the time. And I had, I'm full of stories. I had this.
I love your story.
Because I've lived through so many different moments of having to put my foot down because people want your help all the time. And I appreciate that. But I had a friend who was putting together a fundraiser. And it was related to a very specific kind of event that was not at all my like if you ask me to talk about NASCAR, I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you anything about car. I don't know.
Yeah.
So she had an event that was very specific to a certain type of venue. And she asked me to just volunteer to do some marketing. I said, great. So I go to the kickoff meeting. Everybody there is well-versed on this particular type of event, except for me. And I'm sitting there literally like watching paint dry on the walls going, what the hell am I doing here? No questions were asked of me. No, there was no initiation into like, here's what you should know. So after the event, she asked me, she goes, so how did it go? The meeting? And I said, it was, it was not great. I don't know. And I looked at her and I said, I honestly don't know why I'm here. I don't know anything about this topic. And she looked at me and she goes, well, I guess you're going to have to learn and get really interested. And I looked at her.
Oh, no, she did.
Yes, she did. And I was like, I guess you're going to have to find somebody else though.
Exactly.
But in a weird way, this is what people do to us. They say, I have something that's really important to me. And if we say, I don't really want to do that, indirectly they're saying, I guess you're going to have to learn to love that because you're going to say yes to me.
That, or they take it as a personal affront.
And they get offended that you're not interested in what they want.
Right.
And Sorry.
They take it personally. Yeah,
Not my
you're
problem.
saying no to me, not to this thing.
Right. And it's the same thing too, where, water will fill up any container that it's put into. So our time is the same thing. If we don't stay intentional with our time and what we're doing and why, the why is the big deal, then anything can come in and just fill the container. And then you're stuck having to do all this other stuff that you really didn't sign on for.
Oh, I know.
So I like to think of it as, instead of making it a no, it's an and.
Yeah.
It's a, I love you and I want to be here for you and I will be at this time.
I totally get it. And I love you. And Fitz has some news.
Yeah.
Oh, hell of a segue, Madge. I love it. It was just fantastic.
Thank you. What you got, Fitz?
Oh,
Breaking
let's
news?
see. Wow.
That's the game show music.
I like the music. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I'm trying to do things, and things aren't working for me at the moment.
Well, we're having a musical interlude.
Is this
It's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I need a vodka something.
I know.
Or
So,
a snifter of bourbon.
do you know what Sunday was?
What?
Sunday was National Be Late for Something Day.
Oh, well, I was right on time then.
That's every day for
Yes.
me.
And I'm telling you on Tuesday.
I don't need. Oh!
Hey-o.
Your new work from home schedule is really stressing out your cat, by the way. A new study shows. This is not a joke. Supposedly, these are life-threatening levels of stress for your kitty. Take care of your cats.
The cats are stressed.
They're stressed. If you changing your schedule too drastically, your cats get all stressed out.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Too bad for you.
Yeah, exactly. Here's
I
the
say
door.
no.
I say no to
No
you,
to
Mr.
that.
Kitty.
That's right.
In Utah news, the Utah Highway of Patrol pulled over a guy who had a large amount of meth on him a couple of weeks ago. The trooper knew something was off when he noticed that the car had handwritten license plates.
That's a special kind of stupid.
Yep. Driver shockingly didn't have a license.
At least he tried. I don't know.
Come on.
On Friday, the owner of a tobacco store in Naples, Italy, stole a winning lottery ticket from an elderly woman. The ticket was worth around 580,000. Is it euro, yen? No. Lira? It doesn't say. Something.
What country was this?
In Italy.
Oh.
Naples.
I
Napoli.
used to know what that was.
The person was caught, but the ticket hasn't been found.
Oh,
That's
rough.
just bad.
that's terrible.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
What's up with that?
A Louisiana 911 dispatcher is on the run after authorities in New Orleans claimed she fielded several emergency calls and then hung up on them.
What?
Help me, I'm in serious trouble. Bye-bye.
I'm on break.
I'm on break.
Sorry. I'm on break.
And last but
She
not
said
least,
no, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
a man in the UK stole Viagra, but his lawyer says that he's not a, quote, hardened criminal. Hey!
But is he up on charges?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Is
that
he
was,
gonna do
full of
hard
it today.
time?
Yes, he's
he
going to
gonna
do a hard time. That's your news. Thank you very much. Tip your waiters and waitresses. Try the orange roughy.
Try the orange roughy.
I thought it was the veal.
This is a fancy place.
No, we're
You got
out of
that
veal.
Orange roughy.
We're out of veal.
We've got sway fish. Or whatever.
Swai.
Swai. Sorry.
Swai is very good. It's delicious.
It is. It is quite delicious.
It's very light kind of fish.
It is.
So anyway,
You guys live a world I do not live in.
Oh, come on now. You went to that fancy
good
dinner
because
and
once
missed your
you-
friend's performance, didn't you?
Yes,
Come on
I did.
now.
It was the Wolfburgen something.
blah, 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 blah.
Is that fancy?
Oh.
I like
When you
when people
can't
s-
pronounce it, it's really fancy.
It was.
When you order creme brulee and you don't know what the
Creme
creme
brulee.
brulee is,
Cream.
What's
Creme-
the soup of the what's
creme
the soup du
brulee?
jour?
Creme brulee.
that's
It's
the soup of the day.
That sounds good.
I'll have that. That's so funny. I was just thinking of that line the other day.
Classic.
What is that from again?
Chris Farley.
Yeah, I know.
Tommy
No.
Boy.
Tommy Boy. That's what it was.
Actually,
I
that was from
picturing it.
Dumb and Dumber.
No.
Wait. Well,
Yeah.
That's arguable.
That's going to leave a mark. That,
I'll
was
prove
from
it.
Tommy Boy.
I'll prove it. No, it might be in Tommy Boy as well.
It might be.
But I was quoting Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. I apologize.
Okay, well,
Agree to disagree.
Google it.
Put down in the comments down below if you think it's Tommy Boy or Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, no. I'm not sure.
Hey, also,
Both.
Speaking of that, in the comments of wherever you should be, tell us what you wish you could say no to.
Ooh.
Or if there's anything
Chicken
major.
wings. I can't say no to chicken wings.
Oh, you wish you could say no.
I
to
wish I could say no to pizza. I wish I could say no. Or if there's something else that you have said no to that was
worth
monumental.
it.
Yeah.
There's a big one.
Yeah.
You said no to and you're glad you did.
My husband. My ex-husband,
I was going to say.
I should say.
I don't remember her name, but it was 30 years ago.
Picture it, Sicily, 1922.
Oh, my God.
Thank God I got rid of those suede pants.
Suede.
Yes.
Oh,
Maybe they were velour. I don't
Not
remember.
very breathable.
that's like some
Very
That's some
Halston shit right
chafing.
there. Micro suede pants.
Moving on.
Moving on. Just say no to Halston suede pants. So anyway,
That's good life advice.
Fitz, you have something on your plate right now. I mean, I don't want to open like a whole can of, worms, because that would be gross. But is there something you wish you could say no to right now?
Oh, look at him breathing heavy.
Exercise
Be
that
vulnerable.
vagus nerve.
Say it.
So the big question here is, are these personal things or business things?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
What's
matter.
one thing that comes to mind that you just you want to say no to and maybe you'll commit to saying no to?
I don't want to get specific, but there are a couple of things that I've been asked to do that I'm sort of on the fence on whether or not I actually want to do them, because I can't really decide if they're worth me doing or not, besides the, just to be nice and to be helpful to someone.
Say no and then go do something for yourself.
What about when people say, I don't think I need to pay you for that?
Right. That's happened.
No, I say no to you on that.
Exactly.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. We all need to say no.
Yeah.
Give me my
No,
money.
that's a good, I have to say no to, can I pay you Tuesday for a podcast today?
So and I really want to work with you and I'm very excited to do that and it costs this much.
Yeah.
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 There it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all have that. Like, people want to do stuff for free.
Yeah, that ain't
Yeah.
happening.
Can you?
I am the first to jump in and help to
Yeah, I
to
know.
get,
Yes, you are.
and I
you are.
probably do too much sometimes, but I can't do it anymore.
Pick one
Yeah.
thing of all those and say no to it. And then be intentional about that time that you're saying no, that you would be spending, and do something really amazing for yourself.
Okay.
Go do it. Telling you,
you
it's a practice. It's a learned skill. Once you get used to it, it gets a lot easier.
I like learning.
That's right.
I like learning. So sum it up. The best way to say no?
Say yes to yourself.
Look at that. That's why she's the mouthy broad.
We need more words.
No, you're right.
Say yes to yourself and make it an and. You
And.
know,
Yeah, I like the and.
I
Let
like the
people know
and.
what you will do for them, and then politely decline the rest.
Right. Because that still kind of lets me like
Little wiggle worm.
I really
the
want
Irish
to work
goodbye
for you,
and-
and I will for this much.
There you go, Fitz. You got it.
Not the number that you proposed.
That's correct.
Yay, Fitz. Yay, Fitz.
That's it. Just
He's
make
our
it an
man.
and. Follow the improv rule. Make it an and, a yes and.
And
There you go.
And?
And how would
And?
people find out more information if they want to
You
work
can
with
learn.
you, or-
You can find me at AndreaHolland.net or more about the Mouthy Broad at themouthybroad.com.
Wait, where is it? The Mouthy Broad.
The Mouthy Broad. Yeah.
Andrea Holland is the best.
Thank you. So fun to come laugh with you guys today.
I know. We love it. We love it. We love it. And if you want to find Andrea anywhere on social media,
It's just Andrea Holland Coaching.
there
at
you go.
Wherever.
And
Find me on Insta.
and
Or the mouth you brought on TikTok.
I was going to say TikTok. Are you still doing
I'm
the
a
talking,
TikToker.
ticking,
Yep,
and the
ticking and talking.
ticking?
Love it.
And Fitz, where can people get a hold of you if they want to?
Smoke signals.
As we.
Send a raven.
We work our way out of this week's Madge Unmuted. Send you smoke signals?
Rockvox.com, Fitz at rockvox.com. Or you can...
You're at Fitz on Insta, right?
On Insta, it's at FitzVox, F-I-T-Z-V-O-X.
Oh, right. Okay.
But it's also at Rockvox Recording.
But most importantly, me...
Ta-da!
In the theme of things today,
yes.
I am Madge, and I can be reached at Madge Madigan on most everything.
There you go.
Except for YouTube, it's just Madge. My channel is Madge Unmuted.
Madge Unmuted.
And please, while you're here, subscribe, like, share.
Smash that subscribe button now, bro.
Ring that bell, bro.
Dingity dingity.
Smash that shit. Anyway.
Jesus.
Praise Jesus. On that note, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week on
Bye-bye.
Madge Unmuted.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.